Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, and I'm back with Talisman of Dawn. I'm so excited to get back into it because we left at the beginning of the Castagari where Shariar and Sher are going to meet, and as you can see on screen, Shariar and his brother on screen, and Mutik is on screen, but we have yet to see Shariar and Sher actually meet for the first time. I'm assuming, at least in the circumstances of them getting married. So let's see how that plays out, because we have a lot of eyes watching us with all the relatives and family members being present, and I only can hope that it will go very well. But we'll see. Anyways, let's just get into it. Good day, Boutique. I'm sorry for the delay. It's all right. I see you brought many things. It's the least I can do. By his side, there was a familiar face. He also carried gifts of his own and had calm eyes that analyzed everything in a casual, nonchalant way. The similarity to Shariar was almost too clear in his features. It was Shenazan, his younger brother. Shenazan, you came. The younger man gave a little comfortable smile. I wouldn't miss it. How is your newborn doing? He's doing very well. He's calmer than the others, so it's easy to take care of him. What about the mother? Shirin, right? She's doing well. She already has plans for him in the business. A wonderful wife, if I may say. She is. Come in, come in. Mudik felt happy seeing Shenazan, knowing Shariar really cherished his presence, and to think he would leave his baby to come to his brother's Castagari. The bond between them was very strong indeed. The old man really hoped that the meeting would go well. Shariar deserved to be happy, and considering how his own family had no hope for him, maybe this could prove to them that he was worth the satrapy. I mean, Mutik, like, cool, we love supporting, the son, like, our son who's not our biological son, but what about your daughter? What about her happiness, sir? Yes, surely Sherazade would be great for him. Women always were the solution for men's problems. Oh, they existed so men could have a motivation to live. Oh, gosh. Boutique once again questioned why Dunizad couldn't see that. Men worked hard to earn a good life for their future family and needed someone by their side to help them. The most honorable role for a woman was as a wife, supporting and guiding her husband so that he could be the best man he could be. Oh. By my tone, you can tell how much I agree with that sentiment. Obviously it paints Mutik's personality and characteristics and values and all that. But also it like in values, it's like, does he not, yes, I can see, like, does he care about his daughters? Yes. But does he care about them without realizing what they would want? Yes. Which is always very hard. So we'll see how that turns out. That couldn't be so horrible, could it? Women had natural maternal instincts after all. Me with none of that. Shahrazad served another round of tea to the guests and offered some to the new arrivals, who accepted it. They gave their gifts to Shahrazad to sort out and went to the couches. By Mazda, this is a lot of sweets. The woman glanced at her future husband, wondering if the amount of presents he brought were because of excitement or generosity. He held his posture straight like a proper authority figure and had a strangled smile, looking around a bit too anxiously. Let's look at the fits together. Appreciating it. Yes, it looks very nice. I like the patterns that we have on the clothing. It's really cool. He didn't look at her with anything like happiness or desire, just this nervous politeness, as if somehow he was scared of her, just as she was scared of him. She wondered if they could ever be open with each other. Shariar, for his part, couldn't stop worrying. Were the sweets all right? Were they too much? Too little? He tried to find some of his bride's favorite flowers, poppies, but he wasn't sure if bringing lots of them would be all right. Gosh, I love seeing we get both points of view. We love to see that. In the end, all he knew of Shahrazad were things Boutique had told him. How intelligent she was, quiet and reserved. He didn't know how she would feel about him or his presence. He could only hope she liked them, or that at least she wouldn't hate them. Oh my god, I forgot. Must the trap. I forgot what voice I gave this guy. Upon seeing his whole family gathered there, Shariar felt anxiety take over his stomach. He smiled politely, greeting them, as he and Shenazan retreated to a corner. I thought you wouldn't come, Shenazan. Shirin insisted. She said it was important to be with family, and she was curious about the bride, too. How is she? She's doing well. The kid isn't troublesome. I think we are all curious about the new bride. It is you, right? You? Shouldn't we know this already? Everyone followed his eyes, which were set on Sher. The woman was still trying to sort the many new presents on the table, and she was surprised someone was talking to her. Yes. Sherazad. Okay, well, we at least know the name of... we know her name, that's good. Yes. I think I've seen you before. Do you work in the palace? No, only my father, but I go there sometimes. I see. Oh gosh. Don't you think she looks like a little like Abaza? Says Marianne. I don't know. Maybe? I don't... who's Abaza again? I don't know. I don't think so. Sherazad. I was thinking about that, but the princess was so much more beautiful. Okay, so Princess Abaza. I forgot about Princess Abaza if you've introduced her before. I agree, but she had an ugly heart. Oh, she had. Mudik eyed his daughter. She didn't look anything like Abaza at all. Don't you think it's time to separate? Everyone was surprised to hear Babad's voice. Oh, you're right. We should. Is everything ready? Yes, I think so. Sher, take a tray to your room. The daughter nodded. I forgot who Layla was. Us here. I'll take the tea. I'll take the tray myself to the men's room. Following tradition, all the male relatives from both sides of the family went to one room while all the women went to the other. Mudhik gathered the men in his room while Sher had to accommodate the ladies in hers. Mudhik's room, which once belonged to him and his wife, was richly decorated. He had vases and beautiful furniture and a large, comfortable bed to sleep in. He also owned some small sculptures and trinkets, things other nobles had given him in previous years. People, both from his noble background and newer acquaintances from work in the palace, showered him with gifts to show their appreciation for his company. Marwa's possessions were inside a beautiful box carefully placed in a corner. Mutik gave it a glance, as if he was asking permission to let all these people in before welcoming the other men inside. The satrap sat awkwardly on the colorful pillows, the other male family members surrounding him. Mutik was more than happy to accommodate him, but the ruler's relatives looked a bit disdainful sharing the room with him. Out of the men present, Barbad and Mutik were the only ones who looked at Shariar with wonder, impressed with the quality of his clothes and his beautiful skin. Meanwhile, his relatives, except for Shenazan, his younger brother, eyed him as if he didn't belong here, as if he was unworthy of participating in his own wedding preparations. Dang. Shariar himself could feel that in the air. He was way too used to that silent disapproval. I hope you've been liking the gathering so far. Jamshid eyed the room. It's okay. It's an impressive room. Oh, thank you. Too much decoration. You were used to hay and grass, farmer. I'm not surprised. Golgan glared at Jamshid, but didn't say anything. Mutik swallowed uncomfortably before moving on. Well, I took the liberty to arrange the parchment and a quill in advance. That's very thoughtful of you. Thank you. I brought a quill. We should use mine. It's very good. I could not. Use it. I hunted the bird myself. No, you can use mine. I insist. Use mine. You are a guest in my house. Let me provide it. I am the satrap's uncle. I think it's only fair. That's too kind, but please, use it. They kept going back and forth about the quill until Mutik finally gave up. Oh, well, okay. Let's use yours. New word unlocked in the glossary. Okay, let's check that out. And everyone let out a subtle sigh of relief. Let's look at it. Tarof, I think is a new word. It is a concept in the Iranian etiquette and culture where you put others before yourself. As a host, you must offer everything you have to the guest, and as a guest, you must refuse. And it goes back and forth until someone gives up. Okay. Tarof. Cool. I get that. Where's the scribe? Oh, don't worry about that. I can do it. You're writing it. Yes? Golgan clicked his tongue but didn't say anything. Are you broke, Shariar? What? No. Then why don't you have a scribe? We can both write. It's not necessary. Are you telling me Shariar writes everything by himself? He must have a lot of free time. Slacker. We do have a scribe, but I did not think it was necessary to... He's afraid the bride is going to run away with the scribe. Uncle Jamshid, that's enough. He's gonna cry. Can we focus on the contract? All these more low masculine sounding voices get me. Excuse me. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but I am currently sick. I'm recovering. I'm fine. It's more so that I have to cough every now and again, so please excuse any coughs and things you hear. But yes, anyways, as I was saying, 5 different male voices. I mean, at least I'm trying to make them different. We're gonna see how that keeps on going. But yeah, there's a lot of tension between a lot of these characters and Mutik and everyone, so we're gonna see what happens. All right, right on. Thank you. Mudik looked at Shariar, feeling his sadness. How could the satrap's relatives be so insensitive? By Mazda, could his family get any worse? He had to prove them wrong. If anything, this wedding had to be an absolute success. That way, they would never look down on Shariar again. When he picked up the quill, he wrote each word with fervent concentration, reading the words out loud. Everyone kept quiet, paying attention. When he finished, he read everything once again to see if everyone agreed. Good. I like it. Can we sign? Yes, you can use my quill. No, I'll use mine. Oh, please, I insist. It's only fair. We started with mine and we need to finish with it. I cannot let you have everything. Jamshid eyed him with surprise. The old man's words were a little more harsh than he had anticipated. Dealing with Jamshid felt like a battle, and that was wearing the old man out. Mudik noticed that and quickly tried to smooth things over. Because that would be unfair, of course. You came from so far, I want to show you my hospitality. I'm sure men like you are used to taking care of matters by yourselves, and I respect your intelligence and strong will. But I also want to prove my worth as the wedding planner. So, please, I beg you to let me show you what I can do. I would love to serve you as a way to repay your worry and support for the satrap all these years. That was a little bit of a stretch, but Mudik knew how words could soften one's heart, and he needed them to cooperate. He needed them to listen to him, to acknowledge him. Fighting with Shariar's relatives wouldn't lead the treasurer anywhere but failure. For a moment, the host feared the man would argue again. Instead, Jamshid sighed in resignation and looked at him. All right, we'll sign with yours. Yay, we're happy. And that made the old man smile. Okay, let's see how it's going with the ladies over here. Oh gosh, good luck, Sher. In the meantime, Sher was serving more black tea to the older women. Her father had told her to take away some of Duna's paintings because they cluttered the walls, and some of them were inappropriate to strangers. But Sherazad didn't know how drawings of women hanging out together, sharing drinks, and holding hands could possibly have been problematic. Duna really liked women. That was not a surprise to anyone. Some of them were still taken away to let the walls breathe. Cher organized the rest in a nice formation, and she was proud of it when she finished. Though now that all the other women were there, she was starting to fear their judgmental eyes, which wandered over the pictures. Marianne was especially interested in the one that had a horse, looking at it as Cher refilled her cup with tea. Thank you, Sherazad. You're welcome. Marianne pointed out the painting she had been staring at for some time. I really like this one. Did you make it? Oh, no, it was my sister. Your sister? Why is she not here? She's probably somewhere in the back of the bazaar, wasting her time. The other women looked at Sherazad, a bit shocked, demanding a better explanation. Cher had to think fast. How would she explain the whole ordeal between Duna and her father? She didn't trust these women to understand anything. And worse, they would make their own judgment over the fight. No, she had to avoid that. The Kastagari was already insufferable. She's very sick, actually. She's been at the doctor's for a few days. Oh my, that's terrible. My condolences. She's not dead, you know. Layla didn't seem very convinced, but it was her suspicion against everyone's sympathy. She could save her arguments for another time. There is a tower of silence very close to our house. It's such a sad view. I'm losing the voice. It's fine. It said we had a new word, but I don't think I see a new word. Everything I know is ready here. So let's return. Full of vultures, I imagine. It reminds me of my own limitations. We are all mere actors in the great battle of good and evil, hoping for the day Ahura Mazda will finally destroy Angra Mainyu. The mood felt a little darker after that. The woman looked thoughtful for a moment. But just for a moment. Oh, did you like the flowers? I picked them especially for you. They are very beautiful, thank you. I'm happy Shariar will have someone like you from now on. He really needs a reliable person to guide him. And you seem less condescending than Abaza. That woman would look at us like she was the Emperor's mother. But that was because she was a princess. And I'm not beneath her. I work really hard. She should know that. Your hard work means nothing. What you make in a year doesn't compare to what they receive in a month. Just look at their clothing. Our rags can never compare, and we are trying to dress well. Sherazad, for example, just wore the first clothes she laid her eyes on today. Dang, I thought you were my relative, thank you. Did you even bathe today, girl? I did. Oh, don't say that. Sherazad here is really beautiful. I thought she was way older from how Mudhik described her. How did he describe me? As a mature woman, but I think you look rather young. Almost like a child. You're a great match for Shariar. What is that supposed to mean? Exactly. Sure. What does that mean? I agree, but you look smarter than him at least. I hope you'll be a good influence on him, unlike that princess. Oh, right, because Abaza was Shariar's first wife, and then she fell in love with someone else, and they separated. Okay, right, I forgot about that. He was too good for her. I think that woman was ungrateful. That's what she was, throwing away such a good marriage. And for what? She'll never recover her reputation. Oh, cheating with a slave. How low do you have to be? She was no better than a dog. If you're cheating, at least strive for someone better. No, Panise, that's scandalous. I could never do that to my poor Golgan, even if Cyrus himself asked for me. As if he would ask for an old woman like you. What is happening? They're really throwing words at each other. But what about you? Would you abandon Jamshid for a man like Cyrus? In a blink of an eye, for sure. Marian gave a wholehearted laugh, an echo through the room, which seemed bigger for a moment. What? That's a joke, right? If you want my advice, Sherazade, take advantage of Shariar while you can. Don't depend on him. Build your own fortune while he spends his on whatever he decides to do. You should be patient with him. His mind often drifts elsewhere, but I'm sure he'll come to like you. And don't let him slip away. If men don't find what they want at home, they'll look for it somewhere else. Ha, yes. Always be available when he needs you. Okay. You look like a shy one, though. That's just a facade. She had a suitor years ago. Really? What happened? Sherazade didn't like him or something. I don't remember. Why did you call off the engagement again? It's complicated. He probably did something stupid. Wait. What? Don't say that. He was great. I don't know why Sherazade didn't go through with it. It didn't feel right. Oh dear. Marriages only feel right after you have kids. Before that, you just hate each other. Girl, oh my gosh. Oh, we have... Yep. It's not better on this side either. Sherazade, I'm here for you, girl. But these ladies definitely have their own opinions about that, and they're definitely fall into the more traditional gender roles thoughts and expectations, which fine if you want to do that for yourself. Like, who am I to really judge? But we do have choices. We do have choices. I mean, at least I would like to think so. Anyways, we're gonna see. Oh gosh. Cher thought that was a very wrong way of seeing things, but didn't comment. She was trying too hard to not give in to the painful memories of that last engagement. Anyway, I hope you don't mess this one up. Shariar is great. You can't expect him to be flawless. A good wife should accept her husband as he is. He was a very good husband to Abaza. He even spared her life when he found out about her cheating. That's because he was too weak. Oh, Panese, he's a merciful man. It's the good deeds as Ahura Mazda commanded. They heard a knock at the door. It was Mutik. Gosh, that was such a long scene, even though it wasn't. Did you finish the contract? It's all written and signed. I'm taking Cher so she can talk to Shariar and discuss it for a while. Go! Marianne pushed Sherazade slightly, in an encouraging way. Okay. All the family members reunited again in the living room, leaving a small table for Cher and Shariar to talk. Hey. While the men and the women talked, Sherazade offered the satrap another teacup, which he accepted. Thanks. No problem. He held the contract in his hands, a little shyly. Do you want me to read it for you? I know how to read, thanks. Ah. She picked the document up, reading it in silence. The satrap waited, staring at the parchment with nervousness. It was strange seeing someone reading. It was quite rare, especially for a woman. He was surprised, but maybe it was to be expected, considering Mutik was from a noble lineage. All right. You're okay with it? Yeah. Really? Yeah. The woman didn't look at him, focusing her eyes on the document instead. Her distant gaze and lack of enthusiasm were making him nervous, like a bad premonition. What is exactly in the contract, I guess? I'm curious. It reminded him of his late spouse, his past mistakes, the cheating, Are you okay with it? The question took him off guard. It was the first time anyone asked his opinion that day. Yes. Yes, it's okay. Good. They stayed there, not wanting to go back to the reunion. There was an awkward silence, but it was better than returning to the company of their family members and their snide comments. Shariar was used to hanging out with his blunt and rude relatives. When his father died, some of them came to Khorasan to try to raise him. It didn't work out, and his mother asked Mutik to take the role of guardian instead. However, they would still come visit from time to check on him and his younger brother. They had never been too pleasant, but Shariar always had Shenazan to balance out the discomfort. He had never been too affectionate, but he was a good brother. Seeing him in the room made the satrap feel a little better about himself. Shenazan was like a reminder that it was okay for him to exist the way he was. He didn't mind that his older brother wasn't the man everyone wanted him to be. It didn't matter to him. Sher, on the other hand, wished with her whole heart that Duna could have attended. It was horrible spending time with such insensitive people. Worst of all, she would have to deal with them more often from now on as part of her family. The woman felt a great sadness, and tiredness numbed her heart from imagining dealing with them. Being surrounded by them at her wedding, having to visit them afterwards, it made her want to cry. Can I tell them your decision? Yes, go on. Shariar stood up, announcing that Shahrazad had accepted the contract. All the relatives celebrated, throwing their hands in the air and shouting out of joy. They congratulated both the groom and the bride, surrounded by happiness that wasn't there a minute ago. Sure thought it was strange seeing people mock and pester you one moment and then hug you the next, spouting well wishes for your newlywed life. Was that how people worked? Did they always change so quickly? I mean, that is very much an emotional 180. That is a lot to deal with. Shariar was used to seeing the duplicity of the nobles at court, so it wasn't as shocking to him. At least he knew that Shenazan's joy was sincere, and that was what mattered to him. Good luck. Thanks. Everyone kept eating and drinking tea until late at night. Boutique offered his house to Shariar's relatives, but they refused and said they would stay at the palace. Without other choice, the treasurer accepted defeat. Layla, however, took the offer, deciding to spend the night there. The old man gave his room to her and Barbad, and he slept on Duna's bed. Sherazade, for her part, couldn't sleep that night. She kept tossing and turning in her bed, worrying filling her heart, till she gave up and left her room. She sat in the living room, where all commotion took place, and picked up a cup, filling it with the tea that was left. She stared at the floor, her mind hollow. Shahrazad sat there for a while, trying to process everything that had happened. The meeting, the new relatives, the contract, the marriage. Again, she had not had time to talk to Shariar properly, and his personality was still a mystery to her. All she knew was that his relatives had a really poor opinion of him. It was quite saddening. I hope he isn't a bad person. Oh, Cher. Oh. I was like, I thought maybe for some reason it would be Duna, but it's Barbad. That makes sense. Oh, Cher. Barbad approached the woman carefully, as if she was a scared animal. He always acted a little out of place, which was endearing to Shahrazad. She felt like that too. It was like both of them didn't belong in this world. It was comforting being around him, sharply contrasting with how she felt around Layla. For a moment, Shahrazad wondered if Shariar was like her aunt. Was like his aunt. Yes, and if she would end in the same situation as Barbad. What if she had to spend all her energy taking care of Shariar? What if he was as unreasonable as Layla? The thought of living in someone else's shadow wasn't very encouraging. Oh, hi, Barbad. Can't sleep? Yes, I never sleep well away from home. I see. You want some tea? Yeah, thanks. She was going to get up, but he dismissed her with a hand gesture, picking up the teapot and serving himself. They stayed in silence for a moment, drinking the tea peacefully. There were some distant sounds far away, maybe birds or little creatures in the night. But inside, the quiet reigned absolute. Are you worried about the wedding? Yeah. I see. But I'm sure the satrap will take care of everything. Father was the one who arranged it, you know. I bet he's going to be the one to organize the ceremony, too. That's fair. It's his daughter, after all. He looks like a nice man, that Shariar. I don't know. Didn't it seem like his relatives hate him? Well, they didn't seem to be very friendly. I don't know. Maybe that's just how they are. I didn't like them. Yeah, I imagined. What if it doesn't work out? I don't want to be stuck with him for forever if I don't like him. I wouldn't worry about that. Even if that happens, you'll have a good life, and you'll have your children. That's more than enough for a woman to live happily, I think. Uncle, please! When I married Layla, I wasn't sure either. I didn't know her, but she seemed to like me, even if I never understood why. She hated the farm life, and she made me come to the city because of that. She's always complaining about something, but she never left me. She never gave up on me. That's what I'm trying to say. Good things happened and bad things happened, but she's here, still. I know she loves me because she always comes back to me. She's always by my side when I need it. I feel like that man is that kind of person. You think so? Yeah. Doesn't matter what happens. He's going to stay by your side. I think that's a good thing in marriage. I see. Again, it didn't feel very reassuring, but Barbad was trying his best to console her, and so Sherazade tried to take his words to heart. That's what I was thinking. I was like, in his own way, our uncle is really trying to make sure, sharing his own personal thoughts and everything. But that is not the problem, Uncle. There are many things we are concerned about, Cher is concerned about, but it's okay. I believe in these two. They're going to make it work for them, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Maybe in all of this, she could find a good life that was good for her. In the palace, there were a lot of rooms, and at least one of them would fit her, she hoped. Sherazade took another sip of the cold tea, hoping that it would wash her worries away, even if for a short while. It didn't work. The world still weighed too much on her chest. What she didn't know was that Shariar was feeling the same weight back in the palace. It would be another sleepless night for him, wondering if he would be good enough for this marriage. I can't wait till they talk to each other. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so good. Okay. I am going to leave it here for today. Kind of keeping in time with my 30-minute videos so far, but I'm very intrigued that we got to see Shariar and Cher interact a little bit, and a little bit more of like, the dynamics with all the relatives in the split rooms with like the men and the women. And like getting more of a feeling, because I don't know anything about a Kastegari before any of this, so that's really interesting to see. I'm rooting for Cher and Shariar. I can't wait till they actually talk to each other, and hopefully things work out. But there's a lot of these things I like seeing the different family members trying to give it advice, and like obviously there's actually all of it is really very like, yes, for a woman this is what you should want. Great. Traditional gender roles and expectations. We already covered that. I do think there is a point to be made about like, there is something about class status, obviously, where like you are marrying the satrap, then like at least financially you will become like supported and be comfortable, hopefully. But obviously it'd be terrible if it like was really bad and he like, was a terrible person or terrible living environment. But there is that to also consider. And again, Cher is doing this because it's her bargain with her father to let her younger sister Duna to go to Persepolis and be a painter and all of that. So there's that also, and it seems like so far Cher doesn't really want much besides living in her own place and being herself, which like, obviously we're taking a lot away from that right now, but I'm sure she will be able to figure out a good living situation for herself, even though she's married and everything. So we'll just have to see. And then Shariar is also like, we're getting his perspective about like, is he going to be a good enough husband considering, his first wife and everything and what happened there. We're gonna see, but I can't wait for them to talk to each other. I'm absolutely waiting for that. But anyways, please like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of Talisman of Dawn and any other indie visual novel that I will be playing or have played in the past. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!